So excited to talk to you today. Thank you again, Chitty, for that introduction. Really thinking about the evolution of cross-channel marketing, SMS really is the place to be for the most personal, the most high-touch communication with your customers directly. So I'm so excited to give a little overview of what we have to offer here at Listrak and maybe give you some thought starters if you're considering entering the SMS channel space for marketing purposes, or if you're just getting started, or if you have a seasoned program trying to come up with some additional ways to connect with your customers. That's what I'm here to share with you today. So to get started here first, we are going to take a quick at the agenda. What exactly is mobile marketing? How is this different from email, social, all these other channels that you already have to manage on a day-to-day basis? And what's that opportunity? What's that impact? We'll go over some of those really awesome numbers Chitty was actually starting to introduce there for us here beforehand. So we'll go into those opportunities and, like I said, present some strategies for you and even share some real life examples and success stories from our own clients here at Listrak to, again, give you those ideas for either getting started, improving or scaling even further. If you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat and keep an eye on the chat as well, because throughout the presentation today, we're going to be dropping some additional links for more information on some of the topics that we're going to be uncovering. So if you're interested in hearing more about case studies and success stories, or even additional strategies on top of what we're going to go over today, keep an eye on that chat and make sure to save those links for later. So let's get started. And again, what exactly is SMS marketing? We're already managing tons of direct consumer channels today for our brands. Why is this something else that we need to add to our marketing stack? And the short answer is it will quickly become one of your top revenue contributing channels, even within the top 3, top 5, definitely up there with email and social and the like. So I want to start off first with a hypothetical question. No need to put the answers in the chat, but just think to yourself here. How long does it take you to actually open an email? And take your marketer hat off and just think personally with your own favorite brands. How long does it take you to get to an email to hear about a sale or hear about new products, or, like Art was just sharing, see those recommended products based upon your browse and purchase history? How long does that take you? And additionally, how long does it take you to open up a text message? They're often, right within arm's reach, our cell phones. I know mine's right here looking at me right now. That oftentimes takes so much longer to get to an email. And while the content is great, and again, mobile text messaging is not replacing email by any sense of the thought there, this is a really great way to get to your consumer, get to their inbox even faster than ever before. What we found is that 97% of text messages are open within just 3 minutes of delivery. And I like to pause on that because, again, we just came out of an email session where we're hoping to get open rates, 12, 15%, but I have yet to see a 97 or higher percent open rate on an email, as much as we would all love that. So this is a great way to get your most critical messaging out to your end user, your prospect, your customer, your loyalist, whoever that may be, at unprecedented rates. And what we've also found is that coupons are actually redeemed a lot quicker, a lot more via mobile. Lifetime value increases, overall ROI increases. And when orchestrated properly with email together, we can see even more lifetime value and even more revenue from those customers. And the biggest takeaway I like to share here is that 89% number. In a recent study by Gartner, we found that 89% of consumers want to hear from you. They want to hear from their favorite brands, their favorite retailers via text. But only about half of those brands have actually adopted the channel. So there's a really big gap here, leaving opportunity for you, revenue on the table, to connect with your customers and really, again, add to your digital marketing stack with another top contributing revenue channel. But again, I know how you're all feeling, and I know you might be thinking, how do I add another channel to manage into my day-to-day life? More messages, more copy, more reporting, right? Those are all different things to consider. But I'll tell you that SMS is really the most efficient channel to bring on, whether it's brand new or, again, you're trying to scale and grow. These are just really quick messages, 160 characters or less. Maybe they have an image as well if you're going to send an MMS. But it's a really quick and efficient thing to build. And again, when you're orchestrating with email, you can take a lot of cues, a lot of copy strategies and messaging strategies from these other channels, especially if you have really strong reporting mechanics from those other channels telling you a lot about your customer. So text messages really are the perfect place for driving those quick conversions and traffic, whether it be to your e-commerce website or if you also have a complementing brick and mortar strategy. Messages around timed events like flash sales and events, maybe limited time offers, exclusive offers. I know I love when I get those VIP texts direct to my phone, giving me that exclusive access to check out something new. Those messages, definitely open right away, have a really high click-through rate, and it's again building up that brand awareness well before they've reached their email that you've also sent. Again, it's efficient. So even if you're a small team, that's something that we hear a lot from the clients that we work with here at Listrak. They're very lean, they have a lot to manage. It's really efficient to stand up, just a couple sentences, 160 characters or less, short, sweet, to the point, and really proves, a high ROI in the end. And when you're, again, orchestrating with email, you're able to deliver that seamless brand experience when messages complementing each other. They're not, again, replacing each other, suppressing one group from this message and then, only sending this message to another. We'll talk about personalization opportunities in a little bit, but they're all complementing your other channel strategies. So what you have planned for email, what you have planned for social, anything else you might have planned. SMS is meant to complement all of that and share the same compelling messaging strategies. And again, like I mentioned, from a segmentation and targeting standpoint, there's opportunities for additional communication. If you're wanting to target, say, a high value group of your customers, or maybe it's, hunting for new prospects, just like you'd be able to target those same customers via email or other digital channels, you have a really direct, really compelling way of reaching those folks, via text message, where again, we're seeing that 97% open rate within just a few minutes of delivery. So how are we actually going to leverage this? Hopefully I've piqued your interest a little bit if you weren't interested already. How are we actually going to use this? How are we going to adopt SMS into our brand strategy, into our messaging strategy? And what I always like to start off with first is acquisition. Now, again, if you're more familiar with email, you're probably used to all the same tried and true strategies of pop-ups and, the at checkout collection. But it's really important to know that SMS is a highly regulated channel. And while that might sound a little bit scary, it really just means we need to get explicit consent to opt in across any strategies you might want to be using in your customer journey. So we can use a lot of those same tried and true strategies from email, but to instead collect phone number and get them to opt into an SMS program. Take, for example, the pop-up on screen. You can see the 15% off version collecting email address. That's probably a bit more familiar, and hopefully you're leveraging some of those strategies today to grow your email program. But the same type of strategy can be used to collect phone number as well. Even positioning this as a preference in a two-step fashion is something that we've seen really strong results with. And we actually have a case study to share with you at the end of the presentation today to see just what type of results you can get from a pop-up like this. So this is something you can really have all across your customer journey through pop-ups, cross-channel promotion in email and social with easy-to-use keywords. Anywhere that you're already collecting phone number for purposes like checkout or account create. Those can also be repurposed to collect explicit SMS opt-in. And again, if you have that brick and mortar presence as well to complement your e-commerce strategy, keywords are really efficient, really easy to use on things like signage and bag stuffers and anything that might be complementing the overall checkout process. And you're probably familiar with the keyword, even though it might sound like a little bit of a jargon term. So I want to try it here today. You can take out your cell phone, which again is probably within arm's reach already. I'd encourage you to text the keyword Listrak to our short code 50202 to enter for a chance to win some gift cards, something to hopefully spice up your Monday a little bit here towards the end of the day. We are going to be handing out 10 $50 Visa gift cards to some lucky winners today. Again, if you text the keyword Listrak to our short code 50202. And those winners are going to be drawn on October 5th, and you'll be notified via email address. So by texting in that keyword, you'll be able to firsthand experience what an opt-in flow could look like for your own brand. And you'll even notice this includes asking for email address via text message. You no longer need to bounce around multiple channels to collect that really critical first-party, zero-party data that Art was talking about earlier, but instead you can collect it all within a text flow. And maybe there's even more valuable information you want to collect, like their birthday or their zip code. You'd be able to do that directly via text message as soon as you've gotten their opt-in. Keywords make it super easy, and there's really no technical integration to use there. You're just setting up one keyword and the automated response to trigger, and then you've collected their opt-in. So again, don't forget to enter for a chance to win some of those Visa gift cards. And again, see for yourself just how easy and efficient it is to use keywords for acquisition purposes. Now, I keep mentioning, cross-channel orchestration with email. SMS is not replacing email or any other digital channel, at least yet. So it's really important to consider, how are these channels all going to work together? At Listrak, we are able to trigger both email and text communication along with our other automated solutions. So it makes it really easy to manage all of that content, manage all of your contacts, and again, decide when exactly we're going to send a message versus, an email, how we're going to trigger that message, things like that. And when all channels are all under the same roof, you're no longer competing for attribution. It's all based on that last click, that last interaction that will ultimately get the conversion. And it makes it really easy to align those strategies. And from a segmentation standpoint, see if someone has fallen off an engagement with email, maybe we ramp up, their send opportunity via SMS. And again, manage all of your reporting and data in that one single platform. One way we can do this is through our cross-channel workflow tool, which makes it really easy to, as Art was alluding to, send these personalized cross-channel conversations. So within one single stream, we can have a whole bunch of logic to determine who gets what, at what time, and through what channel. You can see in the example on screen, if we know that in this automated campaign, someone is clicking on our text messages, we want to keep them engaged in that channel. If they've fallen off in that channel, then there's an opportunity to re-engage them via email, whether it's sending a message to let them know they still have something waiting for them in their cart, or to deliver a coupon code if they've, it's been a while since they've engaged, it's been a while since they purchased, maybe even alerting them to when something is back in stock that was previously out of stock, like Art mentioned that use case there. All great opportunities to align SMS and email together to make sure that we're getting in touch with those customers through the right channel at the right time. And some additional broadcast strategies, again, that you can really tailor your SMS experience, much like you have on the email side, is through behavior-based targeting. Is someone purchasing? Is someone engaged and clicking? Or if they're a loyalist, how much are they spending? All different ways to really, again, increase that level of communication to your highest value customers or to prevent someone from churning. We even have the opportunity to target by custom fields. So like I mentioned in our keyword example, if there's any really critical data to your program, to your brand as a whole that you want to collect, we have the ability to target off of those custom fields later. So for example, I mentioned birthday. Just like you're able to send coupons maybe in a birthday mailer or in a birthday email, you're also able to do that via text message. And I personally love the half birthday strategy, if you haven't heard of that one before, sending them this extra special gift, maybe a little bit of surprise when it's still 6 months to their birthday. As long as you have that data, that critical first party data, we're able to target off of it. So I mentioned some of these real life examples, and we'll unpack these a little bit here. One of our clients, beauty brand Sol de Janeiro, highly recommend checking them out in their ever popular Bum Bum Cream, really has a highly orchestrated cross-channel strategy, and they brought their SMS program to us looking to really elevate it, take it to the next level, and do even more with it than they ever did before. So you can see an example over on the left-hand screen there, just all of those different touch points that they're using to really grow the program. They have an aggressive pop-up strategy, both on desktop and mobile. They're also collecting opt-in via their Instagram stories in a really easy tap to join function, or if you still have the swipe to join feature as it's being phased out, we can work with that too. And then they're immediately following up with a messaging strategy that leverages both SMS and MMS for a diversified content calendar. So I mentioned with MMS, that's the ability to include an image, whether it be static or dynamic or animated, accompanying your text message. So if you have really compelling imagery, to include, you're able to put that in here. Another example here is from another one of our beauty clients, Soko Glam. They took that two-step pop-up experience to the next level after they saw how compelling their mobile tap to join strategy was working when they were using that keyword opportunity. We'll take a look at that one here in a second. What they did on their desktop on-site experience is first lead in with that email opt-in. Again, what everyone is probably already used to today. Seeing that aggressive offer strategy pop, as soon as they land on the website, to collect email address. But once they provide their email address, that's the opportunity to then lead in with also collecting phone number. And you can get creative with your copy. Maybe you're even gating delivery of that incentive until someone provides both their email and their phone number to opt in. And you can see initially upon entering the site and providing email, they saw 3.2% overall opt-in rate and very little drop off to that second step for getting phone number, just about a 2.3% opt-in rate there. Once they provide their phone number, we're able to immediately target a welcome experience that sends them through a whole journey that first starts off with getting that coupon. From there, that's when they're able to leverage those targeting strategies which we just talked about by following up with non-purchasers who haven't used that coupon before, collecting birthday, collecting birthday and presenting other product recommendation strategies that are highly personal. On the mobile side, to complement that two-step pop-up strategy, they're using the tap to join experience. And this is leveraging that keyword that we all took a look at earlier in the deck, which makes it super easy and very low touch from a technical perspective of getting that opt-in. When someone visits their site on mobile, they're presented again with that same 15% off strategy. They tap the button and they're immediately redirected to the native messaging app on their phone where that keyword and short code are already pre-populated. Super easy, super efficient to use. The end user hits the send button, and again, they're able to go through an automated welcome journey to collect additional information, send coupons, things of that sort. So again, they're seeing about a 2.3% overall opt-in rate, and then almost 3/4 of their list is then replying with email directly in that text chat to get their coupon and go through the rest of the series. Something we saw from one of our clients' soft surroundings is really aggressive list growth within the first few months of implementing this strategy. And it actually turned into a 26x ROI within that very first 6 months. So they're able to accelerate their list growth extremely quickly and deliver those really critical coupon strategies and other welcome strategies right away to see a return right away, and then continue to engage with those customers. Stella and Dot as well saw a really increased ROI within the first 12 months of coming to Listrak. And this was a brand that was brand new to mobile. Again, really exciting when we're starting from nothing and growing a list. So within their first 12 months, with using that tap to join pop-up strategy combined with the other customer journey acquisition strategies we touched on today, they saw 116x ROI within those first 12 months. And again, they were really looking to us to provide that additional level of strategy to connect with their customers in more ways than ever before. So I see a couple questions coming through the chat. We're going to end with those here today. And one audience member was asking, how much harder would you say it is to gain trust for a prospective customer to open a link? And I love this question because, we all kind of, again, put our marketer hat on. We try to, think separately from our own experience. But really, it's all about getting that explicit opt-in from the beginning and triggering that immediate response so the end user knows that it's legitimate. We also have the opportunity to brand those links at Listrak, which would allow you to actually be in control of the domain that's shown in that shortened link in the text message. So we're only working with 160 characters. We need to make sure we have that shortened link so we can share as much of our message as possible. But you do have the opportunity to use either your own domain or an alias to make sure that it looks trusted. I'm sure you're all used to some security training that we've had to do over the past year. I know Listrak takes that very seriously, and we've done a lot of increased security trainings. And one of those questions they always get you with is, if it doesn't look like a trusted link, don't click on it. But you're able to very easily build up that trust from immediate engagement and branding your links in text messages. Ooh, I like this question too, another one in here. What are some ways to use the SMS text to surprise and delight customers? And I really like this opportunity specifically within MMS, where you're having that visual component of your messaging. So this really comes down to the copy strategy. And again, you can take a lot of the same cues from email and social. So again, when you're framing something as an exclusive or just for you or for VIPs, you don't have to give away the whole message within the text itself. Encouraging them to click through to reveal their discount or to, see exactly what's behind, behind closed doors. You have that nice visual MMS element, and you can have it be animated with a GIF, whether it's including some lifestyle imagery, some product related imagery. You can really get creative with your copy by using that surprise and delight language there. And that's a really interesting strategy to think about right now as you're planning or hopefully finishing up your plans for holiday. When you think of things like 12 days of Christmas, excuse me, or weekly deals or anything like that, that's a really great opportunity to, again, diversify your content strategy, where every so often you're giving a little bit of a surprise type of message as compared to just explicitly sharing a discount or coupon. Yeah, so someone else just posted, what do you think about sending images with SMS messages? And that's, again, what we would call an MMS, a multimedia short message. Excuse me. And that's a really great way to make your messages stand out. We want to make sure we're always looking towards a diversified content calendar. So, we talked about how efficient SMS is, excuse me, because it's just, 160 characters or less. And MMS allows you to open up that window a little bit more, share that image and a little bit of additional body copy, but we don't want to do it every single time. We really want to make sure it's shared for that most critical messaging. Again, when you have some type of promotional sale, something highly visual you want to send that you can't communicate via text directly, it's definitely a great opportunity. And I personally love when I receive myself those animated GIFs in messaging, specifically in text, because it stands out really nicely. And it allows you to, again, deliver that seamless experience from email, which is really visual as well. Another good question that just came in, how do you handle time zones and alternative timing when you don't have as much geographical information on hand? So one thing you could do to, again, collect that first party data is by asking them via text if they're willing to share their zip code, for a personalized experience, however you want to really frame that incentive by providing that detail. But at Listrak, we do have the ability to automate that experience based upon the area code and their phone number. So that's something we have called time zone optimization, that really with just one click of a button, one checkbox there sending your message, you're able to choose what time of day you want that message to be delivered and then throttled across the US time zones based upon the area code and the phone number. And that's really great because then once that message is sent, you'll actually see a breakdown of how that message was throttled. So you can see if your messages are kind of skewed more towards the East Coast or more towards the West Coast, anywhere in between. And then it also gives you an additional targeting opportunity. So if you have some messaging that's really compelling to be personalized by area, even down to a common delimited list of area codes themselves, that's where you can send even more personal content. So if you're wanting to target our friends on the East Coast with some more wintry based messaging and, then send some flip-flop sales over to our friends on the West Coast, you're able to do that with that first party data of area code without having to collect that information. So there's a couple of different ways you can do that. Again, if you're wanting to collect zip code to have it be, immediately delivered to you by the end user, you can do that. Otherwise, you can use the area code as well. These are all great questions and we still have some time left, so feel free to pop those into the chat. Let's see what else we've got here. Here's an interesting one. Do you see any scenarios of having customers forward or share SMS marketing messages, or should it be leveraged only as a direct channel? There's always going to be some component of sharing, right? Especially if you're an iPhone user, it's really easy to use the screenshot feature and, send that as a text message, as an iMessage to someone else. That's where, diversifying the content calendar strategy, like we talked about with things like surprise and delight, and really making it a personalized channel that you have to join to really see the benefits, see all the perks. That's what helps you to prevent kind of that forwarding around. And just like you probably are aware on the email side with forwarding opportunities, we always encourage our brands to use one-time unique coupon codes if the coupon is ever going to be shared or used for a messaging strategy, I should say, to prevent them from ending up on any of the coupon sites like a Retail Me Not or a Coupon Bug or anything like that. Or if you want that to be part of your strategy as well, because we have seen, some folks see a lot of great success with that, it's really up to you how you want to manage your coupons. But if you're wanting to prevent any sort of sharing or, again, really encourage someone to join your mobile program, one-time use coupon codes is definitely going to help that, as well as the surprise and delight language and some of the other messaging strategies that you could use from day to day across your monthly calendar. I think we have time for just one more question here. And this is an interesting one. We'll end it on this. Do you see the ability for customers to reply to text and engage in the future with a blend? So we have a couple of different, ways that we can frame this thinking here. From an en masse marketing channel, much like we talked about today, we have the ability to create automated responses if someone is ever trying to text into you directly. So a lot of times it's different teams that manage this, right? If you're sitting here in the marketer's chair, you're probably like, I don't want to deal with customer service and people, sending in questions and incoming inquiries. We want to send them to customer service. That's an opportunity where you can create automated system messaging. So if someone does reply with a question or someone does need help, can include that 1-800 number or customer service email to direct them to the place to, get their best help and answer their question the best. But we do have the opportunity through what we call info campaigns of getting the customer to engage a little bit more and provide more information about what they're looking for. So this would be an opportunity, again, after they've provided that explicit consent to opt in, so after we've either gotten their phone number or they've texted in with the keyword, to then position additional keyword opportunities of, what do you want to hear from us? Are you most interested in apparel, home and garden, whatever your vertical may be, positioning, one of those different, product lines within your brand that someone could want to hear more about. That's an opportunity to see that kind of two-way messaging, but you really don't have to manage it all because you're going to have automated responses there. So still making sure that you have the proper resources in place to handle that, but then also getting those automated messages out for an immediate interaction.